So Paradox asked me to take you through Egypt's biggest challenge at the start of the game, which is war with the Ottoman Empire. We have a truce with them for the next 4 years. Once that truce is up, they will most likely be declaring war on us, or hopefully we'll be in a position to declare war on them. So let me take you through how you can win a war in Victoria 3, specifically is Egypt beating the Ottoman Empire. The deciding factors of wars happen long before you actually get onto the battlefield, including things like your economy, as well as your available goods and your army compositions. There's a lot of numbers on screen, so let's quickly go through all of them. We can see we have 53 battalions out of a possible 140 in terms of command limit. We have how much manpower is in this army, the average morale, the cost it takes to upkeep them, the organization, the average defense, and the average offense. These here are our commanders, giving us this command limit. Selecting one of these guys, you can see their character traits. So as a pillager, we can see that it unlocks 2 extra orders. And over here, you can see an extra option, which is to pillage, which will give the following bonuses and debuffs. These other tabs we'll get to a little bit later on. So we know a war is coming with the Ottoman Empire, and we also know they have 159 battalions to our 98. Not to worry though, because our troops are going to be better. We're going to upgrade all of our units here. Of course, technology can go a long way to winning wars, but unfortunately for us, war is going to be coming very, very quickly. Our truce with the Ottomans is up. If they're not going to declare war on us, we are going to declare war on them. Go ahead and demand our own independence, and that then brings up this, the diplomatic play. First thing to note, we have 2 fronts here. A front line is where armies are assigned and do battle. So now the war has begun, we can mobilize our troops here. So here we have our aforementioned infantry, but then we have artillery and cavalry. They each do different things. Artillery, for example, has a much higher offense than our infantry, but a lower defense. They also have a plus 20% higher kill rate. And then we have cavalry, which similarly has different stats to infantry as well as a higher battle occupation. And as we're fighting a 2-front war here, we're going to move around our troops to better suit our purposes. So I'm going to select transfer military units to another army, and we're going to take all of the mobile artillery and the lancers. In return, we are going to hand over 10 of our line infantry, maybe a little bit more. So why have I done this? Why have I moved all of our artillery and cavalry into a different unit? Well, I'm going to move this lot over here and this lot up here. So the infantry-only army is going to hold the northern front, whilst the second army is going to push through Tripolitania. At this point, let me take you through the other tabs here. Firstly, we have the mobilization, then buildings, which is where these guys come from, and then their modifiers. Over here, we have mobilization options. We can do different things like increase extra supplies, which is going to give plus 10% offense and defense at the cost of increased cost, which we are going to be doing. This is why it was important that we secure our gold reserves. Currently, the approval of the armed forces is 2. If we can get it to at least 10, we'll get a further 10% offense and defense. And here we can see what laws they'd like to pass. If I select National Guard, there's no hope it's going to pass, but in the meantime, it will trigger this, which is a further 10% offense and defense, which, like I said, very, very important. So this number here represents the advantage. In this case, we have a 50% advantage over here and a 23% disadvantage over here. And here we are, we go to war. Okay, the first battle is taking place. So we have our offense and defense. Your commanders will select different battle conditions. In this case, he has selected a blunder and the other has incurred poor visibility. It might seem obvious that 13 battalions have started with 13,000, but as the war goes on and manpower dwindles, you might see this number start to mismatch. And the west has been overrun, leaving our troops free to reinforce the east, which is sorely needed. And reinforce they do, thereby reducing the advantage to only a 3% disadvantage. As the Ottomans continue to hurl troops at us to try and secure the advantage, our advantage will increase over time. And here you can see that we were technically outnumbered 2-to-1 at the start in terms of battalions, but that lack of manpower means he only starts the battle with 900 more troops. And like I said, ours are a lot better. So we're going to make a beeline for the capital and hope that the Ottomans can't recover. So let's right click over here on the Ottoman capital state, designate a strategic objective, and our troops will start to head in that direction. The worse the Ottoman casualties, the more our advantage. And so you can start to see how, despite being numerically inferior and the Ottomans being cocky, we can start to topple an empire. And this victory actually means we have become recognized. We are independent, we've conquered some territory, we're making money, and that is how you win a war as Egypt.